Hi, I'm Paul from bigender.net, on which I post as Brin. So I've made a couple of videos so far and posted them, and I've been getting some really great response. Part of that response has come from people who, up till very recently, either didn't know that I was bigender or had never seen it in action. And I've been trying to make a real effort to not be pseudo-closeted with the people who I care about and who know me as Paul, but haven't really seen the other part of my life. I spent a long time ashamed, and I've tried to move past that as well as I can. And these videos are part of the way of doing that. But in that response, I've gotten a couple of good emails and some nice comments, and one of them was from my friend Jenny from high school, and she said a lot of really great, wonderful things. And then finished off her note with, "So my question for you is this: what do your girls know of your transgender identity, and what have you explained to them?" I mentioned on here before, I think, that I have two daughters. They are 7 and 9 now, and they're great kids. I love them completely. I came out to them in 2008, August 3rd, 2008, because I have a live journal entry from when I did that. At that time, I was still married to their mother, and we were all living together. I was heading to a party. I'm sorry, I guess it was the second. I was going to a party that day, and I was going to go dressed, and this was the first time most of my friends were going to see me dressed, outside of Halloween once in college. So we sat them down at the table, and well, here's the journal entry. It says, "Telling my daughters was a piece of cake. I told them, remember how Mom and I have said that sometimes boys like to wear skirts and girl clothes? Well, I'm one of those boys. In your head, you have something that tells you I'm a girl, right?" They nodded. "Well, I do too, sort of. Mine tells me I'm a boy some days and I'm a girl other days." We also wanted to stress that it wasn't anything to be ashamed by or keep secret or anything. We told them they could tell anyone they felt like if they wanted to, but we warned them not everyone thinks it's okay for people to be different like this. They may say some things about me or to you that are not nice and are really mean. You can ignore those comments, but they won't be fun to hear. And then my older girl, who was 7 at the time, or nearly 7 at the time, said, "I like people that are different. I find them interesting." So what that told me was that my wife and I had done a good job of raising kids who were open-minded to things that were unexpected to them or unlike what they had seen before. And we had done that on purpose. I came out to my ex-wife before we got married. Early on in my gender journey, I didn't really know, I didn't quite know who I was, what fit me right. So that caused some difficulty later, but we wanted to create an environment in which they would be tolerant and accepting and caring for people who were different. That experience told me that we did a pretty good job. So they know that I'm bigendered, and I'm not sure that I've said the word around them very often. And I haven't really fully dressed around them. I did actually dress that day after I came out to them, because I was heading to a party, as I said. And my older girl told me I looked cute, and my younger girl laughed. And I told her that was okay. I went and found her and said, because she felt bad that she had laughed. And I told her that it was all right because I looked different than she's used to. And she found it surprising, and, that was her reaction, and that's okay. That I still loved her, and I knew she loved me, and everything was fine. So since then, I don't really go fully en femme around them, but I don't hide some of my more feminine features. My toenails are almost always painted, my legs are shaved, and I tend to wear camisole built-in bra tank tops around the house, and you know, my hair is long and usually down, and my nails sometimes are longer, you know, and my body has taken on a somewhat feminine shape, and I don't hide that from them. I'm not out at work, as I'd said, and this is generally how I go to work. So, you know, they do see me in male mode or male dress most of the time, because I come home from work, we have dinner, they go to bed, you know, and then the rest of the evening I just get comfortable. They haven't really said anything to make me feel like there's something to be worried about. Not to me. They enjoy our occasional mani-pedi days. There was a bit where my older girl got upset with my ex-wife because she was going to get her hair cut again, because it was just time to do that. And I had not long before pointed out that of the four of us, I have the longest hair, which I just thought was amusing at the time. And I found out later that it really bothered my older girl, because she was upset that my ex was going to cut her hair, because she thought it was weird, I think, that my hair was longest. But she seems to have come around and been fine with it. But, you know, I don't really hide who I am from my girls. And most of that comes from not wanting to make them ever feel like they've lost their male role model. Daddies are very important in children's lives, and especially young girls' lives. And oftentimes, if they feel abandoned by their father, it causes problems later on with their own self-esteem and their own relationships with men and relationships with women, whomever. And I don't want them ever to get that from me. I'm a very present father. I'm a very active, involved father, because it's a role that I've sort of wanted all my life. I've always looked forward to the time when I get to be a dad. And I'm very proud to be their dad. They're awesome kids. And so I don't want to do anything that would make them look back on their childhood with any kind of regret or anger at me because I wasn't the dad that they needed. And a lot of that is trapping. You know, it's sort of like the clothes and, you know, appearance and that kind of a thing. But I was their dad when they were born, as they were toddlers and growing up, and I don't want them ever to feel like that's not the same, because it is. I'm still their dad, and you know, I'm still a guy, and you know, I still want to do those things with them that they expect from their father. So I tend to temper the amount that they see any kind of feminine stuff with me, like beyond a certain point. That said, as they get older, sort of get into their teen years, then there's room for more discussion, and we'll see what they think then. But right now, 9 and 7 is just too young to really make them or confront that with them, I think. I think they still very much need their dad to be their dad and their mom to be their mom, because that's what they had. That's what they're used to. They've always had a dad and they've always had a mom. And so this shouldn't be taken as any kind of slight to families that don't have a dad. It's just that in this case, that's what these kids had growing up, and I don't want to take that away from them. So I hope that answers the question. I think it does. They know about me. They've seen a little bit of it. I don't present it to them too much, so that they can still feel secure that they have a dad and that that's not going away. And they're great kids, and they're they accept me for who I am, and they love me for who I am, and of course I love them. Yeah, I think that's it. So this was yet another rambly video because I didn't do a whole lot of planning ahead of time and just started talking to the camera. But Jenny, I hope that answers your question. I have a couple more questions lined up in queue, but that will be the next couple videos. But I am looking forward to more comments and more questions. Send them to my inbox at Yahoo, at YouTube. Sorry, at Brin Convenient, or join bigender.net and leave a question in the forums. Thank you.